Hi, Facebook land. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm here because I made a statement on Facebook yesterday that I was going to be making an announcement about the Cosmic Tantra community today. I thought at the time that I was going to be sharing with you the enrollment page to sign up as a founding member. And what I found over the course of the past 24 hours was that the effort or the force being required in order to make that enrollment page and that landing page ready was actually compromising a form of integrity in myself, where for me, a major devotion in my life is the devotion to staying in integrity with my heart and my body. In all of my interactions with people and all of my business transactions and creations and the way that I walk through this life. And what that means to me is if it feels like I'm trying to make something happen, whether it's a relationship or a project, and it feels like to try and make the thing happen would actually require an element of coercion or force that feels against the natural rhythm of what wants to unfold, then rather than pushing through that, I'm actually going to listen to that intuitive impulse in me, the thing that's saying like, this is feeling like force. This is feeling like I'm just trying to meet a deadline because I created, a random deadline. And what I've experienced, or I'm afraid that this person isn't going to like me anymore, so I'm going to try really hard to make them like me, even if it seems like naturally they're not actually wanting to connect with me in that way, right? All these little places where we've learned to compromise the knowing of our bodies and the truth in our hearts because of the fear that if I don't listen, if I don't compromise myself in order to make the thing work, in order to meet the deadline, in order to make the relationship work, that I'm going to lose safety, that I'm going to lose love, that I'm going to miss out on the thing. And that's actually a lot of what I believe needs healing in the world right now, both within ourselves and within the collective, is the places where we've learned to force or push ourselves and actually abandon the deeper knowing in our body in order to make something happen, which to me actually comes from a deeper place of not fully trusting our wholeness, not fully trusting that if I'm just steeped in the beauty of my own energy and really connecting to the way that my life is guiding me to share and embody and express, that wouldn't be enough. That because on some level I'm afraid that I'm not enough, or I'm afraid that I need to make things happen. That's the only way that it's going to work. That won't work. And to decondition that, to allow for that conditioning to kind of disintegrate from our being, this blueprint of force and control and domination and make things happen. And instead sinking into this deep embodied place where we know that there is a way of creation and natural timing that's actually way more in alignment with our hearts and our bodies, and actually makes us way more trustworthy. And not just for ourselves, but also to the people around us, because people can feel us connected to our bodies and our hearts and our own intuitive discernment, and actually giving ourselves permission to slow down and ask ourselves the question, yeah, I can make this thing happen, but do I want to in this way? What is a way that I could actually create this thing? Like, for example, with the Cosmic Tantra community. The Cosmic Tantra community is, I would describe it as a multidimensional leadership container that is a ongoing monthly membership, calling in creatives, visionaries, consciousness explorers who are longing to be in community with people who actually want to birth the new paradigm of love, sex, and human connection. The thing is, there's been such conditioning and culture that has had us been living from a place of trauma and not safety and oh, I need to make this happen. I need to put on a mask. I need to be perfect. I need to show up perfectly in order to make things work. That's been a big one for me. To actually choosing to intentionally create spaces where we know that there's deeper, bigger collective healing that needs to occur around safety and trust, and allowing ourselves to unravel into a deeper connection with the earth, and the natural cycles of creation, and that the timelines in our mind are not necessarily the timelines that the universe has for us. And that, to me, so much the dance of creation, especially when you're bringing a divine project through, a creative project, a passion project, a business project. So many of us are being called into birthing these creations into the world in service to creating a new world, creating a new earth, creating a new system of relating with earth, with other, with self. But we're unraveling these old blueprints of basing our creation on external forces that aren't necessarily synced up with the trueness of our hearts and our own divine timing. And I very much feel in service to creating space for the mystery in my life. I feel very much in service to honoring the importance of the mystery, of the unknown. And I would describe this as the feminine. Acknowledging that the feminine does not mean woman. The masculine and the feminine exist in all of us, regardless of gender. But that a principle, an energy that has been undervalued and deprioritized in our culture for a very long time has been the feminine, the embodiment, the intuitive unknown, or that deep intuitive knowing where when you say, when you're having a conversation with someone and you're telling them something like, oh, I know this with certainty. And they're like, oh, well, how do you know that? And it's this thing of like, you don't really have a rational explanation of why. You don't have a, like scientific or documented reason. It's just like, I know because I know. I feel it in my body. I feel it in my heart. I trust the living mystery school of my body, and she's speaking to me always. He's speaking to me always. And really carving out this groove in my life where that intuitive knowing and creating space for the mystery to reveal itself is actually a core foundation in my practice of living, whether that's in relationship or in business, or any location, because, coming back to the title of this live, I refuse to compromise the integrity of my body or my heart in order to get anywhere faster or to accomplish anything or to succeed at anything, to make the relationship work, to make the business project work, to make the whatever it is work, because if I have to sacrifice connection to the sacred within me and honoring that intuitive timing every step of the way, the success on the other side doesn't actually mean anything to me, because what I'm most interested in is the alignment and integrity with self and with the other people involved and with the sacred to the best of my ability in every step, every moment, because that's what this world is lacking right now. We're not lacking in timely execution of projects. We're not lacking in, I'm launching on this day because it's going to happen, or whatever. We're not lacking on productivity. We're not lacking on fulfilling deadlines. What I actually feel we're lacking as a society is, I can get there really fast, but am I connected to myself and to the deeper thing that's in service to the whole every step of the way? Or am I just trying to get there real quick? And I really believe that everything is energy, everything is connected. What we are experiencing in our individual reality is a blueprint of what the the collective is experiencing on some level, and that we can actually impact the collective experience through the way we choose to walk through and embody our life. And it's beautiful. So all that is to say, this is my announcement for the Cosmic Tantra community today. The sales page, enrollment page for membership was going to be dropping today. It's not. It's not ready. And I didn't actually want to force and pressure and stress about it to get it out, because I would much rather honor and be in the beauty and vulnerability at 3:33 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time of letting you feel me in this process of creation, and that I'm interested in co-creating with people in this membership community who feel this impulse towards a new way of creation and really feel that there's a healing alchemy and a power around changing the way we relate with our sexuality into a way more pure, relating with it as our life force energy. And that when we create a space of people who are committed to doing the healing work, the embodiment work, the letting go of old ways, of protecting ourselves for fear of losing love and replacing them with actually creating forms of intimacy and empowered connection that allow for us to expand and embody and access depths of power and creativity beyond what we could possibly imagine. I'm interested in attracting the people into this community who are drawn to that honoring of the sacred as well. And that it's, when it comes to following desire, which is a core energy that we'll be cultivating in the Cosmic Tantra community, is our relationship to desire, to our own personal desires as a path of awakening. And that cultivating our ability to really connect with what it is that our heart truly wants. What is it longing for? What is the thing that when we are honest about it with ourselves, that it actually kind of scares us, because it requires us to feel things and consider things and ways of being and perhaps changing in our life that might threaten who we've known ourselves to be up until this point. Get all tingles in my body when I feel that. It's so exciting. And for people really acknowledging, and this is a core principle that I teach when I teach about desire alchemy, is that the path of following desire, our true authentic desires, actually has way more to do with who I become in the process of owning that desire, embodying that desire, and expressing that desire, and becoming available to receive it. That it doesn't actually matter whether or not I attain that desire, but it's more about who I become through the alchemy of that experience. Because where there's desire, there is power and there is freedom. And what I have experienced as I've been, oh, hi, Mia, so good to feel all your love. What I have experienced is it begins with creating a safe space within ourselves to feel our desires, to really validate, like for me, like learning to validate the importance of how I feel and what my desires are, enough to create space for them and the vulnerability of feeling them and exploring them. And the next step, and this is something that I feel grateful that I've been cultivating in my life for many years, and I get to practice in person here on the Big Island of Hawaii, is the power of having a community of people who are also operating in that similar energetic and awareness of like, wow, let's create a space of power and safety together so that we can heal and so that we can expand and so that we can play, because I want to feel safe. I know you want to feel safe. And when everyone feels safe in the room, when the feminine feels safe in the room, and again, that's regardless of gender. This is when desire feels safe to be expressed in the room, when authentic feeling, when fear, when uncertainty actually feels safe to be in the room, because there's such a collective devotion and commitment to knowing that it's feeling that safety in the group that actually allows us to unravel the fears and the traumas and everything that's getting in the way of that freedom. Transformation is amplified. We access things that we couldn't even necessarily access alone because we're not the only one holding the container. So the Cosmic Tantra community is an ongoing membership where it's not like you have to sign up right at the beginning. You can sign up whenever you want. The key is right now, as the doors are opening and we're having our first live call on December 15th, Wednesday, December 15th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. We'll provide details in a moment. It's time for the founding members to come in. So the first 144 people who sign up in this container are going to be the founding members. And what that means is that it's the people who are drawn to the energetics of this container and actually want to come in at the ground level as we establish the foundation of the frequency of this container, of the energy of this container, who are like, yeah, Ariel, I'm feeling the vibe that you're throwing down, and I'm thinking a lot of these things, and I'm feeling a lot of these things also, and I want a container held for me, and I want to be surrounded by powerful people who actually want to lead and want to be in that co-creative space to explore what's possible. And while it is currently only an online offering, we will meet in person. Because in Cosmic Tantra, we're cultivating a certain energetic of safety and trust and attunement, the ability to feel ourselves and exquisitely feel other people in service to the highest expression of resonance and truth between the two, between the whole. And just imagine what it will feel like to cultivate this intimacy in an ongoing way with people all over the world through a monthly membership community where we play together and practice together around desire and curiosity and boundaries and the energetics of masculine and feminine polarity and what it means to create a balanced, integrated, energetic container for ourselves of sovereignty. So that as we're grounded in that embodied, beautiful, dynamic flow of giving and receiving energy, we get to cultivate our ability to dance with other people. So if you're feeling the energy of what I'm expressing, what I'll invite is, one, for you to share what is resonant for you in the words that I'm speaking. What are you hearing me say that you're like, oh yeah, like that spot right there, that spot in connection, that spot in intimacy, that spot in power and integrity, because there's something being activated in the collective right now. And the more that we speak about it and bounce these energies and ideas off of each other, the more power and energy that it gains. And if you're feeling curious about the Cosmic Tantra container and you're interested to know more about what each month looks like in terms of what's offered within the membership community, I invite you to send me a private message and I will send you a link to the enrollment page with more of the details when it's ready. I'm actually really enjoying holding this container in a different way, where I actually want to feel your desire and your curiosity for the container before I share the link with you. So if you're open and inspired and curious, send me a private message and I'll tell you more details when they're ready. Aloha. Talk to you soon. There is magic afoot, and I am so grateful to be here.